Aloha, guys. How you guys doing today? Good. Well, I hope you guys are doing good. But we are excited to have you guys here today for this month's edition of the Seasider series. We got lots of people in the office today who are excited for this meeting. But yeah, we can go ahead and get started, and we'll admit people as we go. So let me share my screen. All right. So here, like I said, welcome to our Seasider series for this month. The theme for this week is daily life in Hawaii. And so we're going to be talking about a bunch of different resources and just good things to know for new international students who are coming to Hawaii. And sorry if there's lots of background noise because our office is very filled right now. All right, so to start out, like we do every Seasider series, we'll introduce ourselves in our office. So we can start with who's here. So I am Caden Hines, and the one right here at the bottom. I guess I should probably get an updated picture because my hair is a bit different now. But I am a student assistant here at International Student Services, and yeah, and next to me.
Hello, and I am Carrie, and my hair looks a little bit different too, but not that much. And I'm also a student worker here, so glad to see you guys.
And then in the background.
Hi! I'm Natasha. I'm a student worker here as well. I know what your package. They're coming. Yes, and that is me with my nicer hair. Look, I have nice hair. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Natasha. And then you also might have noticed in the background earlier was our student manager, Vinay, but he's somewhere else right now. And then our other student manager is Gideon, and he's also not here right now.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, we also want to introduce our advisors if you have not met them yet. So each advisor has a different queue of students that they work with depending on what your last name is. And so if your last name begins with the A through H, then you will primarily be meeting with our advisor, William. And then if your last name starts with I through P, then you'll primarily be meeting with our advisor, Melba. And if your last name starts with Q through Z, then you'll be meeting with our advisor, Lanisi. And they are all wonderful advisors, and they really love helping the students to get what they need. And then we also have an intern who also has appointments with students sometimes, but she doesn't have a specific, last name Q, as far as I know. And her name is Jolene.
And she's willing to help everyone. So feel free to reach out to them and us.
All right. And now, just in case you missed it, before we get going on today's topic, we just want to share with you guys, what we're doing each day for this Seasider series. So today, we're talking about food and groceries and just different places to find food and groceries around campus and the island. On Tuesday, we're talking about banking and money, which is something that we know a lot of new international students can be kind of confused about, but it's also something that is pretty important to do. On Wednesday, we're talking about working as an international student and just different questions and concerns about working on campus and the different rules and the process of applying to jobs and things like that.
And on Thursday, we're going to talk about something fun. It's going to the town, especially during your break. After you earn lots of money and you work hard, you're going to spend your money in the town.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, we're going to talk about church and the temple because it's getting close to Sunday. We're going to talk about some spiritual stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so like we said, today we're talking about food and groceries. So let's get started for real. Today, we will be discussing everything from different meal plans that are available to you on campus, as well as other places to eat on campus and find food. And then we'll also talk about groceries if you don't have a meal plan and where to get those. And as well as just places to eat out for fun. And finally, we'll talk about foods that we think you should try while you're here in Hawaii because they are like traditional Hawaiian foods. So to start out, we'll talk about meal plans.
So for the meal plans, we have different options. So as you can see from the PowerPoint, so we have, oh gosh, there's so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lot of them.
But yeah, before we go through them all too, just know if you're iWork, then you get like a pre-prescribed meal plan. You don't choose; they just give you a
They
block
just
meal
give
plan.
it to you,
Correct.
yeah. And basically, you have like a meal each day. So let's say if this semester is gonna have 100 days, you probably would have around 100 blocks, which like 100 chance to go to the caf. So you can go to the caf like maybe 3 times a day, or you can just go each like once a day. So it's up to you, but you have like a certain chance to go.
And so yeah, if you're not iWork though, then you'll have the choice between different meal plans to choose from.
And for the first one, the Go One. So the Go One is like a master plan, which means if you pay 2,298, then you are gonna have unlimited dining every day. So you can go whenever you want, as long as they are open. And then you can eat as much as you want and drink as much as you want. And also at the same time, you're gonna have 150 flexible dollars. So the flexible dollars can be used in the C-store and also C-sector. These are 2 places that we're gonna talk about later. And then you can also have 4 guest meals, which means actually is you can invite your friends to go to the caf. And then it's like a pay on you, but you don't need to actually paying because it's under your gold meal plan.
Yep. And then as well as gold, there's also the silver meal plan, which is kind of similar to the gold, except you have unlimited dining, but only during weekdays. So on the weekends, you won't be able to go to the caf. And so that one's a little bit cheaper because you don't have quite as much days to eat. And then I think this one, the next one, the bronze one, is kind of new because I hadn't seen it before. But I guess it gives you unlimited dining on either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And it also gives you a certain amount of flex dollars, and because it is even more limited than the gold and silver, it's also quite a bit cheaper than those. But then you'll have to buy food on your own as well.
And then we also have block plans. So you can choose how many times that you think you are gonna go to the caf. And then there are different options like 100 blocks or 75 blocks or 50 blocks, and then with different prices.
And yeah, like Kara said, the blocks each block is basically 1 meal at the caf. So if you ate 50 meals in 50 days, then you would run out of meals at the caf after 50 days. But it's up to you how often to use them if you get a block plan. And like we said at the beginning, if you're iWork, you'll automatically get a block plan. And of course, if you're not iWork, you also have the option to just get no meal plan and cook for yourself.
So you must be a good cook.
Or willing to learn like me. I don't have a meal plan, and I would not say that I'm a good cook, but you try to learn and just be willing to live off of ramen. We have a question that said, what does a block mean? So block, I know it sounds kind of confusing, but so a block basically equals 1 meal at the caf. So let's say you had 50 blocks. If you went in and ate breakfast at the caf, then you would have 49 blocks left. And then you went and ate lunch, then you have 48. So each time you go and eat at the caf, you lose a block. And then once you're out of blocks, you can't eat at the caf anymore. And the flex dollars are basically money that you can use to buy other food at the school. So we'll talk about this in a second as well, but there's other places that sell like little snacks or groceries, and you can use your flex dollars there to buy the food without actually having to use your real money out of your pocket. And then we have a comment that McDonald's is my meal plan. Yeah, me too, sometimes. All right, but yeah, hopefully we were able to answer those questions and clear up any confusion. And then we wanted to point out that if you get a meal plan, then they're building a new caf. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. It looks pretty nice. The old caf was fine, but they're building a new caf that's like really big and looks like it's gonna have good food, hopefully. Yeah, like 2 floors, like it looks really fancy. So even though I don't have a meal plan, I plan to at least, try to eat there once just to see what it's like, because it looks pretty cool. So that's something to look forward to, I guess, if you plan on getting a meal plan. Okay, and then just like I mentioned earlier, there are other places to get food on campus besides the caf as well, like places to get snacks and small groceries. So.
Yeah, so one of the places is Seasider. So Seasider is just like a little restaurant on campus. They have different options. So Seasider is kind of different from caf because you go there and then you order the certain food you want. And then you pay the certain money. You can use your flex dollar to pay it, or you can just use your user money from your bank card or like your cash to pay for it. And there's no block in Seasiders. And then so in the caf, one block, we say like, well, if you have one block, you can go to caf to eat once. And then the food there is kind of like a buffet, right? Like you can just go there and eat whatever you want, and also you can eat as much as you want. But from Seasider, you can kind of like you are going to the restaurant, you order, let's say I want to order, I don't know, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Well, from the Seasider, I like to get ice cream.
Okay, let's say if you want to get ice cream from Seasider, then you order ice cream, and then you use either your flexible dollar or your money to pay for that ice cream. Just for that.
So yeah, your meal plan, if you had a block plan, the blocks wouldn't cover the Seasider, but you could use your flex dollars for it. So. And yeah, the Seasider has a bunch of different types of foods to order. The main things are it has like a grill, a deli bar, and a stir fry, but there's a bunch of different types of foods. Like we just listed out a few, but there's a bunch more. And like I said, my favorite thing to get there is the ice cream, because I think they have pretty good ice cream. And it's actually pretty reasonable cost at the Seasider, because a lot of places on the island are kind of expensive to get food. I think just because it's an island in the middle of the ocean, it's hard to like ship food to. But the Seasider is, decently cheap to buy stuff from. And then in addition to the Seasider, we also have the C-Store. And so this is what the picture is of right here. And this is kind of like a little general store, like little tiny grocery store. It just has like a bunch of different snacks and treats and like drinks to buy. And you can also use your flex dollars at the C-Store. Yeah, it's a good place to visit, but it can be kind of expensive. So I wouldn't recommend buying like all your groceries there if you're going to be buying groceries. But it's a good place to just stop by and grab some snacks if you want to do that.
And there's another way you can get food, and it's free food. It's to join the activity. Because on campus, usually each week we are gonna have different opportunities charged by different departments. Let's say from international student services, sometimes we're gonna have a movie night and we're gonna provide food, and then sometimes maybe we're gonna have like picture day, like a picture day, and we're gonna taking pictures for the students, and we're also gonna offer food, and also for the other departments, and usually we will have different activities. Usually each week, especially on Friday, because I don't have Friday. So just come to join the activities and also get some free food, pizza or like ice cream, favorite ice cream.
Yeah. This is something that I really didn't appreciate till I didn't have a meal plan. But the activities are a great way to just like get a free meal a lot of the time because we'll just give out food. So, and they usually have fun things to do as well. So they're good to attend.
Yeah.
All right. Going along with not having a meal plan, we'll now talk about the different places to get groceries.
Yeah.
So there are a few different places to buy groceries from on the island. The closest place is Foodland, and this is the only like big grocery store that's in our town, that's in the same town that BYU Hawaii is in. But it's close enough that you can walk there, but it's also kind of expensive to buy food from. So it's kind of like there's pros and cons. It's really close, but it's a bit more expensive than a lot of the other grocery stores. But that's where I get most of my food from, just because it's the most convenient. And yeah, they have groceries, and they also have like a deli where you can buy like food to eat right off. Like, I don't know, kind of like a restaurant. Like you can order like chicken wings or different food that they make. But for the most part, it's a grocery store.
And close to Laie, but it's not that close. And if you have a car, you can go to a better place, which is Tamura, because it's a little bit cheaper. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than Foodland. So Tamura also offer, I think, food and also some simple, basic grocery stuff. So if you have a car, it's gonna take about 5 minutes to drive there. Tamura is a better place to go. But Foodland is good too, because I go to Foodland all the time.
Yeah, it's just the most convenient, especially if you don't have a car.
Yeah.
Foodland might be where you're going the most. And then, so Foodland and Tamura are like the closest ones to campus, but on the island there are also some of the bigger grocery stores like Costco, Walmart, and Target. And these ones are not very close to campus. Like you definitely need a car to go to them, because some of them are about like an hour away, but they're also much cheaper than Foodland and Tamura's. So usually for me, it's like if I happen to just be doing something, like if I went on a hike or like did some sort of fun thing on the weekend, and it happens to be close to one of these places, then a lot of the time me and my friends will stop there to get groceries, since they're not very close, but they are the cheapest places to get. So Costco is one place, and there's 2 locations of it on the island, I think, but they're both about an hour away. And for this place, you have to have a membership to shop there. So, but like at least for me, like a lot of you might have friends who like their family has a membership there or something, and that's what a lot of people use to shop there. And they sell like a lot of like bulk things, so they'll sell it in like a really big package that'll last you for a long time. And then of course there's also Walmart and Target. They're also about an hour away, and also cheaper, and you don't have to have a membership. And those are some of the places to get groceries. But like I said, most likely the places you might be going to the most are Foodland. But there are other options as well.
Okay, and then if you don't cook, or if you wanna have some fun or have some different food on weekends or even weekdays, you can going out to eat. So we're gonna talk about some places that we have to eat in Laie. So it's around campus. The first option is Seven Brothers. Yeah, Seven Brothers is a place. It's like a fast food. Can I say it's like a fast food place? I don't know.
Kind of.
Kind of.
It's like a yeah. So they make burgers and stuff, like kind of like a fast food place does, but it's not like a. I don't know. It's not like a really cheap place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a fancy place, but it's like in between
Yeah.
fast food and
Yeah,
like
that's true.
a fancy. But it's like the most well-known place to eat, I would say, in Laie, in our town. Like a lot of people, a lot of tourists come to eat there as well, because they make really good burgers. So
Yeah.
not super cheap, but like not like outrageously expensive, but definitely something to try.
Yeah, and then the burger there is big. Cause like one time I went there with my friend, I didn't expect that. I thought like okay, like it's just a famous place with normal burger, but actually the burger, yeah, like the picture in the corner, it's that big. It's huge. Even the price is not the cheapest as McDonald's, but probably you would. I don't know. I feel like for this burger, for me, I can eat 2 meals because it's just like a double burger.
Yeah. And then as well as Seven Brothers, another place that's kind of fun to go to is called Angels, and this is the ice cream place. And all these places, Seven Brothers, Angels, the other places on this list, except for McDonald's and PCC, they're all kind of in the same area. They're all located right next to Foodland, which, like we said, you can walk to. So they're pretty close by. And yeah, so Angel is an ice cream place. A lot of people visit there as well. This is a picture of something from there. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then Subway, I think probably most of you guys know Subway, and it's just like a sandwich place. So Subway is not that expensive, and also it's next to the Foodland, so it's easy to grab the food from there.
Yeah, Subway, it's not too bad, but you know, the sad thing is, at least for me, I'm from the mainland US, and like all these places that are also on the mainland, Subway, Taco Bell, McDonald's, like they are more expensive here. So that is sad, but they're still decently priced, I guess, especially McDonald's. But yeah, there's a Subway, there's Taco Bell, there's a place called L&L, which is like a Hawaiian barbecue type of place. They serve like local food. And
I always go there because I'm from China, and then the food there is like an Asian food with rice or with noodle. So me and my friends will always go there, and when we don't want to cook, and when we don't want to go to the house.
And then, of course, there's also McDonald's, and this is not, like I said, not located next to the other ones, but you can still walk there. McDonald's, oh man, that's a staple of students.
Yes.
One of the busiest places. Guangzhen said he missed the $1 hamburger. I missed that too. And you won't find that here either, sadly. But it's still got some decent prices. Still cheaper than all the other places. So yeah, of course there's McDonald's, and there's also finally at PCC, Polynesian Cultural Center, there's a marketplace that has a bunch of different places to eat, a bunch of different food stands, and like a couple of restaurants to eat at. And these are not that cheap because they're aimed at tourists who are visiting the PCC, but some of them have pretty good food, and there's definitely stuff to try out there as well. There's a restaurant called Pounders, which is pretty good, and there's also the most expensive one, Prime Dining. I ate there once, but I ate there for free. It was because I worked at Polynesian Cultural Center. They gave me
And he must be a good worker there, so that that's the price for him, right? Like employee of the month.
No. But yeah, so there's places to try there as well, and all these places, like we said, you can walk to and eat out at.
So we talk about some places that we can eat around Laie, and now we're gonna talk about some places that we can eat outside Laie. And the first one is Kafuku food truck. So the food truck is just like many different trucks. It's a food truck, and then you have different options like they do have Thai food, right? The food from Thailand.
That's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, I like that one too. And then also they have also other options. What are some other options they have? I only remember the Thai food.
So yeah, there's like a bunch of different, like this picture only has one because this is one of the most popular ones. It's like a shrimp truck, but there's like a ton of different trucks that have like a bunch of different type of food. And it's in Kahuku, which is a town right next to Laie. It's like a 5-minute drive as well. And so yeah, there's an area that has just a bunch of food trucks. And so yeah, there's like a Thai one. There's a few shrimp ones.
Yeah, the shrimp one is good.
There's like a what's it called? Like a acai, like yogurt type of place. There's like a Mexican. There's a ton of different types of ones. So pretty much anything you could want, you can probably find there. But there's some good places to eat there. They're not the cheapest because these ones are also aimed at tourists, but you know, something fun to try still. Another place is Ted's Bakery. And this is located on the North Shore, probably like, I want to say like, maybe like 15 minutes away from campus. So not like super far. And it's known for its pies. So this bottom right picture is one, but it has like a bunch of different types of pies. And especially it's known for like these haupia pies. And haupia is like a coconut, I don't even know, like coconut type of cream thing, but they put it on some of their pies and it's really good. Pretty much all these places on this part are not the cheapest. They're not like super fancy places, so they're not like crazy expensive, but like they're all aimed at tourists kind of, so they're not like crazy cheap, but they have good food and they're not like extremely expensive. Another place is, another like well-known place is called Matsumoto's, and this is located in Haleiwa, so this is even farther than Ted's Bakery. It's probably like, I don't know how far it is, like 25, 30 minutes away, but it's a shave ice place. So this one in the bottom left is a picture of something from there, and they have like ice cream and shave ice type of thing, but sure, it's pretty well known, I guess. Pretty solidly good. I don't know, you can try it if you want. and then finally, this one might be my personal favorite on this list, other than the food trucks. The food trucks are good too. But bonsai bowls, these are good. It doesn't have to be bonsai bowls. There's a few different places that serve acai bowls, and they're like these kind of like ice cream type of, but they're not ice cream. They're like more like smoothies almost, but they're made of acai fruit, and they put a bunch of different stuff on them, and they're really good.
Oh my gosh, I really want to try it. I feel like probably I'm gonna go there this weekend.
Yeah, I recommend.
Okay.
It's good.
And then when you guys come, and then go there and try it. Try and Caden's favorite.
And so yeah, there's a couple different locations of it on the North Shore, also about like 15 minutes away probably. But yeah, those are just a few of the places. Obviously, there's a whole island, so there's a ton of different places to eat, you know, wherever you go. But these are just some of the more well-known ones that are kind of close to campus. All right, and then for our last little slide, we just wanted to share some of the, I guess, traditional or like more local foods that, you know, that we think people should try while they're here in Hawaii, because they're kind of unique to Hawaii.
And the first one is poke. So I had my first poke in Hawaii, and before I came here, I never tried poke. And it's like a uncooked fish, but not like a really uncooked fish. It's just like they still put like flavor in, and it's delicious. I really like it, but there was like it was very funny. So one day I didn't want to cook, so I went to the Foodland and I got a poke from the Foodland because a lot of people say Foodland poke is great. I said, okay, I'm gonna go and get it. And then cause I couldn't finish the whole bowl, and I said, okay, let me just put it in the fridge. So I put the poke in the fridge, and then the day after, I was like, oh, I don't want to cook, and I don't want to go out or like go to the cab, so I will just eat my leftover. But because of I put the poke in the fridge, and it's so cold, so I take it out and then put it in the microwave. And then, well, after I microwave my poke, and I take the bowl out, and I saw all the like the fish meat on the top became white because it was supposed to be right because it's like uncooked fish meat. But after I microwaved it, and then it became totally white. And so my tip for you is don't put poke in the microwave, or like you can put the rice in the microwave, but take the poke out.
Yeah. So thank you,
It was so stupid. So stupid.
But yeah, if I could only recommend trying one food from Hawaii, I would say poke, because I think it's pretty good and it's like pretty unique. I feel like pretty unique food. And yeah, like she said, it's basically like cubes of raw fish, and then they just put like different spices and stuff on it with rice, and it's pretty good though. I was kind of scared to try it, but it was good, so I recommend it. Another thing that's kind of well known and somewhat unique to Hawaii or to Polynesia is taro, and in Hawaii it's also traditionally known as kalo. But it's basically I think it's a root of a plant, and it's like purple. And traditionally the Hawaiians would like use it in like a ton of different foods, and it's just like a starchy kind of food. I don't know, kind of similar to like a potato, kind of like similar type of thing to a potato. Yeah. And then something that they do with taro is one of the ways that they prepare it is they make it into this like they like ground it up into this thing called poi, and it's like this pudding, I don't know, like liquid thing from the taro, and you can see it's purple, and it's traditional Hawaiian type of thing. I've never actually had it, but I want to try it before I leave. So
go to the PCC and try it.
You've had it, boy?
Yeah, so it's under Hawaiian Island, I think. They do have this.
Nice. But yeah, so yeah, there's different things to try with taro. Poi is just one of the specific kinds. And then, like I mentioned earlier, this one I don't really think is like a traditional one, but it's still like a local type of one. I mentioned earlier on the pies, haupia. It's like a coconut cream type of thing that they put on desserts, and I think it's pretty good, especially if you like coconut. And then there's also malasadas, and these are basically like Hawaiian donuts. And these are right here. They're good. You can find them at a food truck at a PCC marketplace. And sometimes they'll put like different fillings inside of them too, like chocolate or whatever fruit filling. They're really good.
And then the last one is loco moco. So this one is also one of my favorites. Like I like loco moco and poke like the most. So loco moco, as you can see from the picture, the top one, so they have like a meat, and also they have like eggs there. And I don't even know how to describe how delicious it is, but it is really delicious. I really like it. Sometimes even the cabs, they have loco moco, or like at the PCC, like Pounder restaurant, I hear from my friends that are working in the Pounders, and they told me the loco moco there is great, but the price is also great, like it's high. But if you would like to try it, go to the cab, or I don't know if you guys may have it
Yeah, they do serve it at the calf, and the calf one is fine. Foodland, I don't think. Yeah, but I think like at L&L they serve it, and like that Ted's Bakery place they have it as well. I know. So places that serve like local food will often serve loco moco. And yeah, those are just a few of the more Hawaiian or local foods that we think are good to try. Number one, poke. What I say.
I agree.
All right, so that is everything that we have prepared for today. We hope you guys found our tips and information, useful and helpful for when you come.
You prepare your stomach.
But yeah, there's a lot of good food to try here. So it's something to look forward to, I think. And so now, if you guys have any questions for us, anything about food or groceries, or even just anything for our office, any questions at all, now is the time for you to ask.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me clearly?
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome. I actually have questions with this is definitely like out of topic, out of like food and groceries, but I didn't know about the blackout dates to come to Hawaii. Do you guys know about that?
Yes, we know. Danae is telling us.
Okay.
Let me see.
Hello, sir.
No, so one second.
1
yeah.
second.
Did you book travel by yourself?
Yeah. It wasn't actually me, but like a friend of mine who stays in the mainland.
I see.
Let's scroll down. Yeah, right there. Just scroll on the red one. I think it's on June 28th to mid. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so the blackout dates are June 28th to July 5th and August 1st to 15th.
15. Yeah. Because I didn't actually know about that until I actually sent my travel details to the housing and the travel, and they told me that, oh yeah, there's a blackout dates. Because I pretty much like had I got admitted last spring of 2020, but until now I'm still here in the country. I mean, in our country, and I have like a question in regards to like the blackouts because it wasn't really clear to me, and I got booked by my family member who is actually in the mainland, and she booked it to me on August 6th, and I tried like rescheduling it to fit in with a the approved scheduled time to check in, but I got a problem with that because the airline said that they couldn't do that, or else I could just cancel it and take 50% of the booking rate that I made to them and book another one, and it's a bit expensive on my end, but I'm not sure if you guys, or I'm not sure if international or like your office could do something about it, or I'm not sure yet. I just want to ask.
So what did the housing department say?
I have been emailing them for 2 weeks now, but I haven't heard from them yet. I've only been responded by Sister Puhi and Sister Akana.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
So
said the same
when is-
thing
when
to
is
wait for
that?
the housings. They said the same thing to like wait for the housing, but like I'm not sure if housing is able to like got the message, because like I have been waiting for 2 weeks now, and still I didn't got any response. Yeah.
So my question is like, when are you planning to travel? When are you traveling? Is it 6th of August, you said?
Yeah, that's 6th of August. I got booked on 6th of August.
So is it
That time when I booked it, I didn't know about the
Hawaii, or are you
blackouts.
going to another state?
I'm sorry?
Are you traveling directly to Hawaii during that time, or you're going some other state?
No, I'm not going into some other states. It's straightly from my country to Hawaii.
Okay. Send your ID to Caden. We'll look into it and we will respond to you.
Thank you so much.
Otherwise.
Awesome.
Yep, thank you. So yeah, just like Vinay said, you can type your ID to me in the chat or email us or whatever. Okay, sweet. I'll take that down. And then we have another question from Guangzhen that says, "Did I get a haircut?" And I did. I did get a haircut. You might have noticed it's a different color now too. Yeah. Well, I went home for a couple weeks in the mainland, and while I was home, got a haircut and got it really short, so all the bleached hair is gone now. And then we have a question: how much does a haircut cost on campus? So there's a few different options for haircuts. So let's see. So there's a couple like official, like professional places. There's a barber shop and there's like a salon. And the barber shop is next to Foodland, and the salon is at the PCC Marketplace. And those ones are like, I think the barber shop is like $25. Might even be 30 now. I heard they're making it more expensive. So it's kind of expensive, but it's I guess, like the most reliable is with the professionals. So that's like, those are the professional places. And I think the salon place is also like $25, maybe 20. And then the other option is there's people on campus who give haircuts. So a lot of times you can find, just through people you'll meet people who give haircuts for like, $10 or $5 or $15 on campus. And those are just people who like happen to have a clipper or something, and so you never know if they're that good or not, but it's a risk if you want to save money. Then and then it said, is it best to bring a clipper? If you're good with cutting your own hair, then yeah, it's a good idea if you don't want to have to pay.
Yeah, and also you can also cut the hair for others, like for friends, if you have a clip.
True. Yeah. If you know how to cut hair.
And you will be popular if you know how to cut hair, because there will have a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Go to your hobby or your place to ask help from you. And you will be popular. Having all the appointments.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's for haircuts. There you go. Any other questions?
Yeah.
All right. If we don't have any other questions, then I think we're gonna wrap up for today. We thank you guys all for coming.
Yes, thank
and
you.
We had a fun time sharing with you guys. And like we said, we hope it was helpful, and will help you once you arrive to know how all the food works and stuff like that. And like we shared at the beginning, we have a different topic each day that we're doing at the same time at 4 p.m. every day this week. So be sure to join those as well. And we'll hope to see you then. And mahalo and aloha.
Mahalo. See you